If you've been gardening for a while, you've probably noticed something strange. Some people grow huge, vibrant, nutrient-rich crops with deep green leaves and massive yields, while others struggle to get even average results, even when they use fertilizer. They water properly, add compost, feed with NPK, rotate crops, mulch, and follow every rule in the book, yet still get lackluster plants. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. When I first started gardening, I thought the key to success was fertilizer, bags of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium stacked in garden stores everywhere. But here's the truth: fertilizer companies don't advertise. NPK fertilizers are only 3 pieces of a 15-piece puzzle. They leave out 12 crucial elements, minerals that unlock soil biology, plant metabolism, nutrient density, root growth, and yield. Without them, your garden is capped. With them, your plants explode with life. Today I'm going to show you all 12 minerals, the science behind why they work, how they transform plants, and exactly how to add them to your garden in correct and simple proportions. Whether you're just starting out or you've been gardening for decades, this guide will give you a huge leap forward. Welcome to Soil Power, where we grow smarter, not harder. Commercial fertilizer companies love simplicity. NPK. It's easy to market, it gives fast, visible results, it sounds scientific, and most importantly, it's cheap to produce. But here's the thing: almost nobody tells you. NPK alone can grow plants, but it can't build soil. When soil lacks minerals, plants can't absorb nutrients efficiently. They struggle to use nitrogen. They produce less sugar for fruiting, roots grow shallow, leaves yellow, pests attack more often, and water stress becomes harder to manage. Once you add minerals back into the soil, everything changes. Suddenly nitrogen works better, roots become nutrient highways, microbes explode with life, sunlight conversion skyrockets, and, yields multiply. This isn't magic, it's science. These 12 minerals are not optional. Each one supports a specific biological system inside the plant. Leave out even one and plant performance drops, but when they all work together, everything improves. Color, flavor, size, speed, resistance, and harvest volume. Let's break them down clearly, the way real gardeners actually use information. So, let's talk about calcium. Calcium is, honestly, the structural backbone of every plant cell wall. It strengthens stems, thickens skins, prevents blossom end rot, and stabilizes soil pH. When calcium is missing, plants just collapse under disease and fruit quality really suffers. But with calcium, fruit weight increases, roots get stronger, and soil becomes more workable. Now moving on to magnesium. Magnesium sits right at the center of every chlorophyll molecule. Without it, leaves turn pale, photosynthesis slows, and growth just stalls out. But when you add magnesium, sunlight basically becomes fuel. Plants grow greener, faster, and stronger. Next up is sulfur. Sulfur builds plant proteins and enzymes. It increases oil and flavor production in herbs and vegetables, and it also strengthens plant tissues to resist pests naturally. Now let's talk about iron. Iron fuels chlorophyll production and energy transfer. Without it, leaves go yellow and roots weaken. But with iron, color deepens, leaf size increases, and growth really accelerates. And then there's zinc. Zinc regulates plant hormones. It controls leaf size, internode spacing, and fruit formation. If you don't have enough zinc, you'll see tiny leaves and stunted growth. Add zinc, and plants dramatically expand. Alright, let's cover copper. Copper activates enzymes that protect plants from disease and fungal attack. When copper levels are right, plants can resist infection without chemicals. Now boron. Boron controls the transport of sugars. It determines how much energy moves to roots, fruits, and flowers. When boron is missing, fruits just don't fill out. But with boron, yields explode. And finally, manganese. Manganese helps plants digest nitrogen. Without it, NPK fertilizer becomes useless. Add manganese and every type of nitrogen works better. Molybdenum allows plants to fix nitrogen from the air. Legumes especially depend on it. Without it, nodules fail. With it, roots feed themselves. Now, cobalt supports nitrogen-fixing bacteria, it strengthens root microbiology and, improves soil structure. Silica fortifies stems and leaves, making them rigid, strong, and less prone to breakage, stress, and disease. And finally, selenium strengthens plant immunity and supports antioxidant activity. Though small in quantity, its effect is honestly pretty powerful. When all 12 are present, plants not only survive, they thrive. They store more sugars, move water more efficiently, breathe deeper, and, well, grow stronger. Modern soil is depleted. Chemical farming, erosion, and years of shallow fertilization strip soil of micronutrients. Compost helps, manure helps, biochar helps, but none replace minerals lost over time. That's why even good organic gardeners hit plateaus. Minerals are the missing link between soil life and plant life. With minerals restored, compost becomes more effective, microbes multiply, and nutrients lock into place. This is why gardeners who add minerals see results so dramatic they feel unbelievable. Greener leaves, faster growth, bigger fruit, microbial explosion, stronger stems, better water balance. And yes, triple harvest is realistic. This part is where most gardeners get nervous. Don't worry, it's simpler than it sounds. We're going to create a mineral blend that brings all 12 elements back into balance at garden-safe levels, then apply it using real measurable steps. The blend below is not random. It's based on safe biological ratios that support soil life rather than overwhelm it. It's strong enough to make a difference, gentle enough to avoid toxicity. So, here is the ideal blend by weight. Calcium makes up about 25%, magnesium is 10%, sulfur is also 10%, iron comes in at 8%, zinc is 6%, copper is 5%, boron is 4%, manganese is 8%, molybdenum is 4%, cobalt is 3%, silica is 5%, and finally, selenium is 2%. If you don't want to mix your own, just look for trace mineral soil products that contain this full spectrum. The key really isn't the brand, it's all about the composition. Now, let's apply this in the real world. For every square meter of garden soil, that's about 10.7 square feet, add 100 grams of mineral blend, that's just under half a cup. For 5 square meters, you'll want to use 500 grams. For 10 square meters, use 1 kilogram. And, for a raised bed that measures 1 meter by 2 meters, go with 200 grams. This is a once-a-year application. You can apply in early spring or in autumn to let the minerals settle through the winter. If you're working with new beds or poor soil, you can repeat with a half dose about 6 months later. So, start by measuring the garden area, then, you'll want to weigh out the exact amount of mineral mix. After that, sprinkle it evenly across the surface, just make sure you don't pile it in one spot. Next, work the minerals gently into the top few centimeters of soil. You really don't need to dig deep here, just enough to distribute. Then, water thoroughly. Water activates minerals, integrates them with soil, and carries them into root zones. The transformation isn't instant, but you'll see early signs in just 2 to 3 weeks. Richer color, stronger stems, and faster leaf growth. The deep harvest results show later: bigger fruit, brighter taste, thicker skins, stronger resistance, and higher yield. Every month becomes better than the last as minerals move deeper and soil life multiplies. Here's what fully mineralized soil feels like. Tomatoes become heavy, rich, and juicy instead of hollow. Leafy greens turn darker and sweeter instead of bitter. Herbs explode with scent instead of tasting dull. Roots run deeper and thicker. Squash leaves grow wider than your hands. Peppers glow with deep color. Flowers produce more blooms. And pests? Well, they find mineralized plants tough to chew and, honestly, hard to kill. Aphids, mildew, caterpillars, leaf miners, they all tend to prefer weak plants. Minerals aren't just about yield, They actually change plant energy, plant power, and plant resilience. NPK gives you growth, minerals give you structure, growth without structure collapses, and structure without growth stalls, but together, they transform soil into a complete biological engine. You can use fertilizer if you want, but honestly, add minerals and you'll need far less nitrogen, far less water, and, well, far less effort overall. Minerals connect everything: sunlight, water, carbon, nitrogen, biology, roots, leaves, fruit. They actually turn gardens into ecosystems instead of just factory rows. The future of gardening isn't fertilizer, it's soil, it's microbiology, it's minerals, and the truth is, garden success has been hidden in plain sight for decades. NPK isn't wrong, it's just incomplete. You don't need special equipment, perfect soil, or expensive systems. You just need to feed your soil what it has been missing. Do that, and honestly, nature does the rest. If you found this article helpful, and you're ready to grow stronger, healthier, more productive gardens, stay connected. Soil Power is here to help you go deeper into real soil science, real gardening methods, and, well, real results. So, hey, subscribe to Soil Power on YouTube, share this article with other gardeners, grow with us, learn with us, and let's build better soil together. Because once your soil is complete, your garden becomes, honestly, unstoppable.